Thanks for listening to this presentation of Stafford Surf School, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The Wedge. The dirty old wedge. A miracle of modern science. This is a natural phenomenon created by the west jetty of Corona del Mar Harbor. Built in the 1930s by the Army Corps of Engineers, the 2,000-foot-long jetty is angled out to sea in such a way that big south swells refract perfectly into a cross peak that creates extremely powerful, dangerous, and sometimes huge wedging backwash peaks. By far the gnarliest shore break in all of Southern California, the Wedge is a really big show that attracts thousands of spectators and a few hardy wave riders when it's working. Setup. When the Wedge is working correctly, it's actually a combination of two waves. One swell comes through and bounces off the jetty, sending a sideways wave that runs northward along the shore to combine with the wave behind it. A surfer, actually probably a body surfer, a skimboarder, or a much despised bodyboarder, will sit near the jetty and stroke into the little backwash wave, heading northbound rather than shoreward, riding it into a fast-growing wedge that's formed when the two waves come together. It is possible to take off on a cute little 2-foot refraction and end up in the pit of a howling 15-foot T-Rex left-hander. There's also a psycho right that sometimes works about 50 yards north of the main peak, but that too is a kamikaze wave. Only a handful of people actually ride surfboards at the Wedge, but they are suicidal and largely frowned upon. They're also not allowed to be in the water here between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Ideal swell. The Wedge used to be ridden almost exclusively in summer and on serious south swells, but it is now a year-round spot besieged by scores of body surfers, bodyboarders, skimboarders, and surfers, and maybe a kneeboarder or two, whenever the ocean offers up a lick of energy. But the ideal swell for the Wedge is a whopper southern hemi. Size. Wave faces in some pictures have been measured at 40 feet, but the usual size is 2 to 12 feet. Ability. The Wedge has killed as many as 6 people and paralyzed dozens. It is not a wave to be trifled with, so experience to expert. Access. Fight traffic to the end of the Balboa Peninsula and pray for a parking spot. The good. One of the greatest nature shows in SoCal, whether you are doing it or watching it. It breaks spectacularly close to shore, and the crowd that gathers to watch it is the closest to modern world gets to the Roman Colosseum.